Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing me to address this awesome crowd today. I'm here as a community activist. I'm here as a mother. I'm here as a refugee. I'm here as a Chilean Canadian. I'm here as one of those kids that had to wash their faces before the international cameras came to make sure that the refugee kids that we were with were okay. But I'm also here as a grandmother of a beautiful, intelligent, biracial baby. And don't ask me for any kind of civility if you happen to think that my baby is less because of the color of his skin or because of his curly hair. That's where that stops for me. This week I had the opportunity to visit the Museum of Human Rights in Winnipeg, and I witnessed how vile we human beings can be to each other, what under the name of religion, ideology, and politics we have been able to do to one another. One thing that stood out for me, though, was that the Holocaust, or the Cambodia killing fields, or the Japanese internment, or the horrors that our government committed against those that owned the land here, is that they were only able to be stopped when people rose up. When people said enough, when people like you and me said stop, enough is enough. This is one of those points in world history when we need to bring a collective voice and say stop, enough is enough. Stop the violations of human rights. Stop the government-sanctioned abuse of children. I'm just going to ask you to consider the reality of what is happening around the world to those that are seeking refuge or those who are seeking asylum, and I want you to consider it from a political and historical lens. Central America, South America, African countries are victims of generational oppression by foreign forces. In the name of globalization and neoliberalism, they have created oppressive regimes, they have created extreme poverty, they have destroyed the environment, they have reshaped values and left people in desperate situations. They have left families, people that see no other way out than to leave their homes, families and communities in search of safety and a better life. They are asylum seekers. They are political, economic, and environmental refugees. They are not animals like Trump likes to call them. They are not criminals. They are a creation of American and other foreign governments' policies. I laughed at Pence the other day when he was in Guatemala saying that people should, fix their own problems in their own countries. Well, those people that are asking for asylum are unable to follow process. It's impossible. A vast majority do not have the money to do this. They live in countries where corruption is rampant, where those that have money can pay off bureaucrats. How desperate, we have to ask ourselves, how desperate does a mother need to be to try and go through that journey? How much do you need to love your children to go through all that hell? It's really easy for us to sit down and judge from Canada, a country where at least the process and laws still have a meaning. But these children do not deserve to be victims of further government-sanctioned child abuse. This is a criminal behavior by the part of Trump and his cohorts. It is despicable behavior, and there is no justification whatsoever. And silence is consent, which is why we're asking the Canadian government to stand by all that we espouse when it comes to human rights. Stand up for all the treaties and conventions that we're signatories to, and to denounce Trump's and any other Trump-like immigration policies that are unjust and inhumane. We also ask the Canadian government to suspend the Safe Third Country Agreement with the U.S. The underlying assumption of the Safe Third Country Agreement is that both countries employ a legitimate and fair refugee determination regime, respecting obligations under the 1951 Convention and Protocol on the Status of Refugees. This is an assumption that is no longer valid, and the agreement must be suspended. We can no longer stay silent, and Trump and his cohorts need to hear, and any other Trump-like government around the world need to hear, that we will not stop until this travesty is ended. Children do not deserve this. Human beings do not deserve this. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting this. Thank you so much for signing all the petitions. And we will continue to fight because this fight is far from over. Thank you.